watch Standing Bear, Soda Tribe, Fishing Lake First Nations, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, 60 Scoop Survivor, published author, and we are back today. And welcome. And so what we're doing here is we're doing short little segments. There's questions and comments that you have. So we will be coming here. We'll be answering those questions. One of those things that we talk about all the time in my Facebook lives and my YouTube lives comes up a lot is the 30-day challenge. What is that? And so the backstory to that is when I started walking the Red Road 30 years ago with my elder, Tony Stonehawk. He is Lenni Lenape out of Delaware. Um, I struggled personally with some personal issues, some suicidal issues, some drinking and drugging. One of those things was um, Grandfather Tony came up with this thing. It was called, well, he didn't call it the 30-day challenge, but I call it the 30-day challenge. So it was really challenging to me too, because I was struggling with making good decisions, right decisions, better decisions. I do it. I said, well, take a bag of tobacco and I want you to offer for 30 days. So this bag of tobacco, um, 30 days. I want you to wake up in the morning and I want you to face the east and I want you to say prayers of love and light. And I said, Tony, what is that? I have no idea because I've been walking the Red Road for like 3 weeks or 3 months, something short amount of time. So I didn't understand what he was talking about. He said, well, be grateful. Say something grateful. Say and then offer this to the spirits of the East, to the spirits of new beginnings, of new light, and of new breath. And 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 I said, okay, I can do it. I don't quite understand what you mean, but I can go ahead and try to do that. So anyway, he gave me this tobacco, and in the beginning, it was like a homework assignment. I don't like to be told what to do. I just don't, right? Had big issues with that. So anyway, um, what was hesitant, didn't want to do it, was looking in the bag. I said, you know what? I don't know about this, Tony. But at the time, again, I was making really bad decisions, personal decisions, life altering decisions, criminal decisions in my life. I was doing this on a daily, drinking, suicide on the installment plan, doing other things on the installment plan. These anti life things that we get into, right? So finally one day, it probably took me like a week or two to finally decide to make that decision to really get up and be really intentful. And that's just part of my story. I didn't do it right away, right? And so I took this bag of tobacco and I said, I'm kind of here. This is kind of how the first couple of days went. I said, well, I faced east. I was facing east. And I said, okay. Well, I'm kind of here, Tony wants me to do this, and, I don't know what to say, and I feel ridiculous, and I don't know who's even listening. I hope no one's looking, and, I said all this stuff, Um, and the thing was, and this has to be noted, I felt like a fraud. I really did, and coming from Grandfather Tony, he's a full blood Lenni Lenape out of Delaware. And he said, well, this is a really beautiful, and he said it was ceremonial, right? And so, when Grandfather Tony said it was ceremonial, I said, oh, well, that sounds really important, and it added some sort of importance to it, right? So, anyway, that's kind of how it went. The second week, this is kind of how it went. I said, okay, Grandfather Tony said I should be grateful. So thank you for life and a nice place to stay and this and that. You know, getting a little better at it, right? Then the third week was like, okay, morning. My name's Wayne, and I'm happy to be here, and I want to be better. I don't want to make these decisions, And so the fourth week, you know, I just started to kind of do this thing, And really, in like the beginning, I may have missed a couple of days, and I may have started over a couple of times. But the fact was, I kept doing. The fact was, I finally made it to the 30-day mark, and so I was really excited. It took me like like 2 months to get 1 month right, because I kept on false starting and all this stuff, and and so we finally hit day 31, and I was really excited because I thought I was going to get away with something. I said, Tony, this is back when we had landlines. I said, Tony, I got like 31 days. What do I do? I said, well, like I was so excited not to do it, but then, like in the back of my mind, I'm like, you know, I don't know. I think I should probably do this. So then Tony and the indigenous elders, they just kind of laugh when they kind of laugh. They go, uh-huh. Well, why don't you just do it today? And so I said, okay, I'll do it today. After today, what do you want me to do? I said, well, I'll do it for another 30 days. And I'm like, I feel like there's a setup here, Tony. I really do, right? And so he said, well, no, just keep doing it. Anyway, that was about probably 20, 29 years ago. And so it's something that I do every day. I wake up every morning. I face the east, welcoming these new beginnings, grateful for today. Thank you, Creator, for today. Thank you for all the things you have offered me. Thank you for all the life. I get another opportunity today to share my love, my life with you. And that's not only for myself, that's also a seventh generation prayer. And so that's really the long of the short of it. I kind of kept it here during the 3 minutes. I failed miserably. We're approaching 7 minutes now. But anyway, my name is Kanipo with Mac Watts, Standing Bear. Please join us every morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook or this channel right here. And we will cover more.